Hello, Bulldogs. Have you ever been at a business lunch where someone chewed so loudly that you couldn't hear over the conversation? Or have you ever watched someone kind of stab their salad like they're hunting their food, right? Or maybe you're dodging that food because it's coming out of their mouth, right, over the table. Now picture this. A brilliant student at a scholarship interview dinner, and they pick up the bread plate on the right side. Total chaos. I've seen this happen multiple times, and a committee chair once told me, "Brilliant kid, but we can't send someone who doesn't know etiquette at dinner to donor dinners." This isn't about forks, it's about access. The kid whose parents spent $10,000 to $20,000 on affluent activities, they sailed right through. And that's the barrier that I'm trying to break. It's lovely to formally meet you, Bulldogs. My name is Carla Sophia. I got tired of watching brilliant kids lose opportunities over bread plates. So I built Socialite Preparatory Academy, the first comprehensive youth etiquette program here in Onslow County. I've taught communication etiquette as a professor at Marine Corps University, right here at Camp Lejeune, working with Marines in leadership. But I didn't stop there. I earned dual certification from two of the world's top protocol schools, Beaumont Etiquette and the English Manor in London. These are the same institutions that train diplomats and Fortune 500 executives. Military families represent 30% of our target market, and they already know my work. Onslow County has 20,000 target demographic households, earning 75,000 plus with school-aged children. We know there's demand because I've already been asked, when am I launching? And I haven't even started marketing. Right now, families are paying about $8,000 for different activities. Jacksonville Country Club is about $3,000, adding tennis at another $1K, golf $1,200, art at $960, dance at $1K, and etiquette workshops at $800. I called and I got the prices. You can verify them. There is zero competition in Onslow County. The closest option is 90 minutes away in Raleigh, which means it's a 3-hour round trip per session. That's why no one's enrolling. The demand exists, but the supply does not. That is the definition of a golden opportunity. Socialite Prep solves this with 2 revenue streams: Youth Academy ages 8 to 18, and corporate etiquette training. I bring the same training standards that I learned at the English Manor and Beaumont right here, where tuition runs $20,000 to $30,000, but we bring it locally for $3,500 yearly. So it's the same curriculum, the same quality, but no 90-minute drives. Our year 1 goal is just 18 students. That's 0.1% of the 15,000 to 20,000 household market. And if I can't convince 18 families out of 15,000, I probably shouldn't be in business. But here's why I need that grant. Those 18 students require professional equipment, liability insurance, and facility partnerships before I enroll student 1. That $8,500 covers startup costs so I can launch with quality and not cut corners. We market through quarterly information sessions and targeted marketing ads. Corporate training comes through chamber and local networking. We break even at month 4 with just 6 to 8 students. Year 1, our revenue is $84,500 with $18,600 in profit, a 22% margin. We offer monthly payments for convenience, but enrollment is structured as semester commitments. Industry data from dance academies and martial arts schools show 80 to 90% retention with this model. I'll serve as your lead instructor for year 1 with operational support from Marine Federal Credit Union and a dedicated CPA. We're supported by our local partners and resources. Today, I am seeking $8,500 from Pitch at Onslow. Why Onslow County? Because this community invested in me first. When I was in college, my local church sent me money every month, which I deposited into my local credit union. I bank with Marine Federal, the same institution that is hosting this event. That support helped me to pursue opportunities that I never imagined possible, and now I'm bringing that investment home. My hope is that our students will experience and learn amazing things and bring that right back here to help and enrich our community. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for your presentation there. A lot of high energy. Like to see that. One quick question here is: do you have any designs for facilities to conduct the courses? I think you're going to have them weekly. Is that?
Yes, weekly, and then we're going to partner and rent out with different organizations in the beginning. But as we build revenue, we certainly would be looking into a facility in the future, a dedicated facility.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, great presentation. Obviously very passionate, and you've got the credentials behind you. Have you thought about any opportunities for partnerships with the local schools to maybe start there and try to get kids motivated about doing it?
Absolutely, that's definitely part of our business plan, partnering with local charities, communities, schools. That's where we want to pull our students.
And did you happen to find in your market research any areas, I know you mentioned Raleigh, Wilmington, even nationwide, are there any markets that are similar to Onslow County where a school like this exists?
No, there is none. So we would be a first. And that's where that golden opportunity comes in. Because in the future we can expand, and then it would be quite unique.
Thank you.
So you mentioned the demographic of children and the value you place in it. I think you really pointed some serious emphasis to the discrepancy between, or disparity between, the youth and how they learn and what they need to be potentially required to know. Categorically, the underprivileged, will say financially, if they can't or are unable to afford even the cost that you've already dropped it down to a lower level, is there a grant platform that you may be able to provide for financial assistance for a child that doesn't have the financial capability to attending but wants to be able to attend?
Absolutely, and that's really the cornerstone of what I'm doing here. I want every child to be able to have the same access without limitation. So we will definitely be partnering with organizations like United Way, Boys and Girls Club of America, even different universities and schools to have that funding come into the program. So that will be available, and we definitely want to see every child succeed and be able to have these opportunities to bring it right back to Onslow.
Can you tell me a little bit about what the 90-minute info sessions that you're going to do, I think, monthly?
Sure.
Yeah.
They would include demonstrations. Depending on the facility that we acquired, we would have it set up, of course, and then a tour of the facility, of course, and then a presentation similar to the one that you just viewed.
Okay. And then you mentioned interview prep as a service. What does that look like, and what's the cost for a standard session for that?
Sure, we would have to price that out a little further down the road.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you.
I guess you would say like the validation, right? That your training is, you're reaching certain milestones with those individuals that are attending this. Is there I guess you could say kind of a checks and balances where you would work with like the local government and have a dining in to where you could allow them to utilize this in a real world scenario as opposed to being first time in a given situation? Like, is there like a training scenario that you'd have set up like that?
Absolutely. So that's part of the partnerships that we've spoken about, where we will be partnering with local businesses